Dear students, in the previous class I told you to solve these two problems. The first one is to check the correctness of the equation v square minus u square is equal to 2as. So this is final velocity, this is constant acceleration, and this is displacement. So you write the dimensional formula for velocity, Lt to the power of -1. Here also velocity, here it is acceleration, and displacement measured in terms of length. After rearrangement of the terms, you can see that on both sides of the equation, all terms have the same dimensions. Since all terms on both sides of the equation being same, the given equation is dimensionally correct. Understand? Don't strike up these two terms, positive term, negative term, don't strike up like that. And also don't bother about this number, whether it is 2 or 10, whatever it may be. Only thing is you have to check these dimensions, that's all. So when dimensions of all terms are same, then the equation is said to be dimensionally correct. That was the first problem. Second one, in the problem you have written that acceleration due to gravity, it depends on length of the pendulum and its time period. So I assumed that acceleration due to gravity is directly proportional to xth power of length and yth power of time. So I have written dimensional formula for acceleration, length, time. So on comparing the dimensions both sides, because according to principle of homogeneity, on both sides dimensions should be the same. So on comparing the dimensions both sides, here if you compare the dimensions for L, x becomes 1. If you compare the dimensions for t, y becomes 2. Therefore g proportional to L power 1, y power minus 2. So this t power minus 2, it can be taken to the denominator. So g proportional to L by t square. So g is equal to k into L by t square, where this k is a proportionality constant whose value can be found only from experiments. While doing simple pendulum experiment in the laboratory, you are going to use this relation g is equal to 4 pi square L by t square. That 4 pi square is the constant here. It is a dimensionless constant. So these are the two problems which I told you to solve by yourself. The third application of dimensional analysis is to get conversion of unit of a physical quantity from one system to another. So if you know the unit of a physical quantity in one system, in order to convert that into some other system, the conversion factor can be obtained by using this dimensional analysis. For example, the CGS unit of force is dyne, SI unit of force is Newton. So Newton is SI unit of force and dyne is CGS unit of force. One can get conversion from this Newton to dyne by using this dimensional analysis. Here I will show you by taking some examples. The first one, so Newton is SI unit of force and dyne is CGS unit of force. To get conversion from one unit to another, that means from Newton to dyne, first we shall assume that let 1 Newton be N dyne. Let 1 Newton be equal to N number of dyne. See here, if M1, L1, T1 are dimensions of mass, length and time, M2, L2, T2 dimensions of in SI and CGS system respectively. So M1, L1, T1, they are the dimensions in SI system. M2, L2, T2, they are dimensions in CGS system. Since we have written 1 Newton is equal to N dyne, in SI system the dimensional formula for force, it is MLT to the power of minus 2. So M1, L1, T1 power minus 2. Dimensional formula for force is ML T to the power of minus 2. So in SI system, I have written dimensional formula for force Newton like this. In CGS system, it is M2, L2, T2 power minus 2. It is like this. Therefore, N is equal M1, L1, T1 power minus 2 divided by M2, L2, T2 power minus 2. So in SI system, this is written in kg, this is written in meter, this is in second. So units are like this, and here it is gram and centimeter and second. So this kg, 1 kg is equal to 1000 gram, that means 10 to the power of 3 gram. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter, 10 to the power of 2 centimeter. Second power minus 2, gram, centimeter, second power minus 2. So these units can get cancelled. So you will get 10 to the power of 5. This is N. Therefore, 1 Newton is equal to 10 to the power of 5 dyne. This is the conversion between SI unit of force and CGS unit of force, that is Newton and dyne. So, by using dimensions, you can get conversion of unit of a physical quantity from one system to another system. So first I assumed that 1 dyne is equal to N Newton. These are the dimensions in SI system and these are the dimensions in CGS system. When I write dimensional formula for force, so in SI system it becomes M1, L1, T1 power minus 2. In CGS system it becomes M2, L2, T2 power minus 2. Now, in SI system, this mass is measured in kg, length in meter, time in second. In CGS system, this mass is measured in gram, length in centimeter, time in second. So, by making a conversion from kg to gram, meter to centimeter, you can strike off the common units and thereby you will get n 10 to the power of 5. Therefore, 1 Newton is equal to 10 to the power of 5 dyne. See, actually, you can get this conversion just by means of units. ನೀವು ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇಂದನೇ ಈ ಕನ್ವರ್ಷನ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಬಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಕನ್ವರ್ಷನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಡೈನ್ ಟು ನ್ಯೂಟನ್ ಆರ್ ನ್ಯೂಟನ್ ಟು ಡೈನ್ ಬೈ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ನೀವು ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ನೀವು ಕನ್ವರ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಜನರಲಿ ನಾವು ರೊಟೀನ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ತೊಗೊಳ್ಳಾರದೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಇಂದನೇ ಕನ್ವರ್ಷನ್ ತೊಗೊತೀವಿ. ನಾವು ಯೂಶ್ವಲಿ ಕೆ ಜಿನೂ ಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿ 1 kg ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ 10 to the power of 3 grams ಅಂತ ಹೆಂಗೆ ತೊಗೊತೀವೋ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ to convert Newton to dyne, just by taking the units itself you can get this conversion. There is no need of doing dimensional formula. But still you can take the dimensional formula and get the same thing. Dimensional formula ತಗೊಂಡು ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಕನ್ವರ್ಷನ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ನೀವು ಈ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ತೊಗೊಂಡೇ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಡೆರಿವೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಹಿಯರ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಶೋ ಯು ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. CGS unit of work is erg and SI unit is joule. CGS unit of work is erg, SI unit is joule. Obtain conversion between them using dimensions. The question will be asked like this. So as you did in the previous example, first I write that let 1 joule be equal to n ergs. An erg. Again, let M1, L1, T1 and M2, L2, T2 be dimensions of mass, length, time in SI system and CGS system respectively. So these are the dimensions of these three, first one in SI system and second one in CGS system. So here this joule is SI unit, so I write the dimensional formula for this work. I write the dimensional formula for work in SI system, that is 1 m L square T power minus 2. Dimensional formula for work is ml square T to the power of minus 2. So in SI system it becomes m1 L1 square T1 to the power of minus 2. So this is equal to n times dimensional formula in CGS system m2 L2 square T2 to the power of minus 2. Therefore n is equal m1 L1 square T1 square divided by T1 to the power of minus 2 divided by this m2 L2 T2 to the power of minus 2. You will get this equation. So this is in kg, this is in meter square, this is in second to the power of minus 2 divided by, in CGS system this is in gram, this is in centimeter, this is second to the power of minus 2. So it is like this. 1 kg it is 10 to the power of 3 gram. 1 kg is equal to 1000 grams. So 10 to the power of 3 gram. 1 meter 100 centimeter, that means 10 to the power of 2 centimeter whole square. Second to the power of minus 2 divided by gram centimeter square second power minus 2. When I open this bracket, it is 10 to the power of 3 gram, 10 to the power of 4 centimeter square. I have to square both these terms. 10 to the power of 4 centimeter square, second to the power of minus 2 gram centimeter square, second to the power of minus 2. So these common units you can strike off. So this is 10 to the power of 7. Therefore 1 joule 10 to the power of 7 erg. This is the conversion between joule and erg from dimensions. So like this, the unit of a physical quantity can be converted from one system to another system by using these dimensions. So, in dimensional analysis, you studied about the principle of homogeneity of dimensions. From that principle of homogeneity, these three applications arise. To check the correctness of an equation, to obtain relation between physical quantities, and to get conversion from one system to another system, conversion of unit of physical quantity from one system to another. The last topic here is limitations of dimensional analysis. Though dimensional analysis has many applications, these applications have some limitations. Limitations means the cases under which they are not useful. The first one, these dimensions are power functions. They are not applicable for logarithmic functions or trigonometric functions and exponential functions. ಈ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಪವರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಂಡಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟೀಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾವೆ. ಇವನು ಲಾಗರಿದಮಿಕ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ಗೆ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೊನೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ಗೆ, ಟ್ರಿಗ್ನಾಮೆಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ these dimensions are not applicable for exponential trigonometric functions. ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಈಕ್ವೇಷನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೊನೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸು, ಲಾಗರಿದಮಿಕ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸು ಅಥವಾ ಟ್ರಿಗ್ನಾಮೆಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆದಾಗ ನಾವು ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನಲ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ನ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಈಸ್, see, though an equation is dimensionally correct, we cannot ascertain that the equation is true, absolutely true. For example, v square minus u square is equal to 2as. Whether it is equal to 2as or 5as or 10as, in all cases dimensionally the equation becomes correct. ಇಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಇದ್ರೂ 5 ಇದ್ರೂ 10 ಇದ್ರೂ ಯಾವುದಿದ್ರೂ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನಲ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಷನ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಕನ್ಸೆಪ್ಚುಯಲಿ ದೀಸ್ ಟು ಆರ್ ರಾಂಗ್, ದಿಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ನೀವು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ನ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಡೆರಿವೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇದು ಈಕ್ವೇಷನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಇದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇವೆರಡು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಅಂದರೆ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನಲ್ಲಿ 3 ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ನೀವು ಆ ಈಕ್ವೇಷನ್ 100% ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೋಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ಲೆಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಈ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ಲೆಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾವೋ ಅಂತಲ್ಲಿ ಈಕ್ವೇಷನ್ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನಲಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದ್ರೂ ಆ ಈಕ್ವೇಷನ್ ನೀವು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೋಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದೋ an equation is dimensionally correct, it may not be absolutely correct. ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದ್ರೂ ಅದು ಅಬ್ಸಲ್ಯೂಟ್ಲಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಈ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಲೆಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ನು ನೀವು ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯೋಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನಲ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ನಿಂದ. ದಿ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್ ಈಸ್ this value of proportionality constant, it cannot be found by using dimensions, it can be found only from experiments. So you have written that g is equal to kl by t square. In the second in the homework problem, g is equal to kl by t square. That k must be a dimensionless constant. What is the value of k? It cannot be found by dimensions. It can be found only from experiments. So, value of proportionality constant cannot be found. ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನಾಲಿಟಿ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ದಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್ ಈಸ್, if a physical quantity depends on other than fundamental quantities, relation between them cannot be derived. ಒಂದು ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಫಂಡಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟೀಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವುದ್ರ ಮೇಲಾದರೂ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆದರೆ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ಸಿಂದ ನೀವು ಅವ್ರ ನಡುವೆ ಈಕ್ವೇಷನ್ ಡೆರಿವೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್. A relation cannot be derived if a physical quantity depends on other than fundamental quantities. So these are called limitations of dimensional analysis. That means these are the conditions under which dimensional analysis is not applicable. So with this, we come to the end of this second chapter, that is units, measurements and dimensions. So in this chapter, first you learned what is a unit and the SI system of units. Next, different units to measure length, mass and time. After that, you learned about the rules to be followed while writing the unit of a physical quantity. Next, you studied about measurements. First, you learned what is error, what is accuracy and what is precision. Next, different types of errors: systematic errors, random errors, least count error. Next, estimation of errors: absolute error, relative error, percentage error. Next, combination of errors. Combination of errors. That is, in addition and subtraction, the final result should have same number of decimal points as the one with the least number of decimal points. In multiplication and division, the final result should have the same number of significant figures as the one with, in case of multiplication and division, relative error. I was talking about significant figures, not significant figures, errors. So in case of errors, in addition and subtraction, the error in sum or difference is equal to absolute error in sum or difference is equal to sum of absolute errors, like this. So in addition or subtraction, the sum of absolute error is equal to in addition or subtraction, the absolute error of the sum or difference is equal to sum of the individual absolute errors. In multiplication or division, the relative error of the product or division ratio, the relative error in multiplication or division is equal to sum of relative errors, like this. So this is about estimation of errors. I told you how to find the absolute error and how these errors will add up in addition and subtraction and multiplication and division. Next, I told you the rules to identify the number of significant figures in any number. And also, in addition subtraction, the sum or difference must have the same number of decimals as the one with the least number of decimals in individual numbers. Similarly, in multiplication and division, the final result must have the same number of significant figures as the one with the least number of significant figures. After that, I told you how to round off a number, and then I told you these dimensions, how to write the dimensional formula. Next, dimensional analysis. So in the competitive examinations, most of the times questions will be based on this dimensional analysis only. Second application, particularly second and third application. Competitive examinations ನಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಮತ್ತು ಥರ್ಡ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನಲ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆಂಟಾಗಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸಿ ಇ ಟಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ನೀಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಈ ಟಾಪಿಕಿಂದ, ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್, ಮೆಜರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ಸಿಂದ. ಸೊ ಯು ಬಿ ಥರೋ ವಿತ್ ದೀಸ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ we have to solve some simple problems in this topic. See, in the NCERT book, page number 35, in the NCERT book, page number 35, exercise is given. In that exercise, you can do that 2.1 and 2.2. You can do these two problems. You check that 2.3. 2.3 problem nodre. Calorie is unit of heat or energy, and it equals about 4.2 joule, where 1 joule is equal to kg meter square second to the power minus 2. Suppose we employ a system of units in which the unit of mass equals to alpha kg, the unit of length beta meter, the unit of time gamma seconds. Show that a calorie has a magnitude of 4.2 alpha to the power of minus 1, beta to the power of minus 2, gamma to the power of 2 in terms of new units. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಏನಂತಂದರೆ, ಕ್ಯಾಲೋರಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಹೀಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಎನರ್ಜಿಗೆ ಯೂನಿಟ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲೋರಿ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 1.2 ಜೋಲ್. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಾರ, ಗಿವನ್ 1 calorie is equal to 4.2 joule anta kotara. And also it is given that idu NCERT book nalli 2.3 problem idu 1 joule is equal to 1 kg meter square second to the power of minus 2. ನಿಮಗಿಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕ್ಯಾಲರಿನು ನ್ಯೂ ಯೂನಿಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಾರ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಇನ್ನೇನಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇವೆರಡನ್ನು ನೀವು ಕ್ಲಬ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ 1 calorie is equal to 4.2 joule. 1 joule is equal to this much, so 4.2 kg meter square second to the power of minus 2. And also it is given that in new system, unit of mass is alpha kg, unit of length beta meter, unit of time gamma second. ಇದು SI ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ, ನ್ಯೂ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಫಾ ಕೆ ಜಿ, unit of length is beta meter, unit of time is gamma second. Now you are asked to get a conversion between these two, new system and this old system, kg meter square per second square. So let 1 calorie which is equal to 4.2 kg meter square second to the power of minus 2 is equal to n times the new unit. So this 4.2 kg meter square second to the power of minus 2 is equal to, ಅಥವಾ ನೀವು ಇನ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಬರೆದರೆ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಮಾಡಿದರೆ 4.2 m1 L1 square T1 to the power of minus 2 is equal to m2 L2 T2 m1 L2 square T to the power of minus 2 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಇದು. So n is equal to 4.2 m1 L1 square T1 to the power of minus 2 divided by m2 L2 square T to the power of minus 2 ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಇದು. Therefore this n is equal to this m1 L1 square T1 to the power of minus 2 ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಇದು kg meter square second to the power of minus 2. So this 4.2 into kg meter square second to the power of minus 2. This m2, the unit of mass in new system is alpha kg. So this is alpha kg. The new unit of length in new system is beta meter whole square. And the new unit of time is gamma second whole to the power of minus 2. So ಇದು 4.2 kg meter square second to the power of minus 2 divided by alpha kg beta square meter square gamma to the power of minus 2 second to the power of minus 2. This kg cancels, meter square cancels, second power minus 2 cancels. So this n is equal to 4.2 alpha to the power of minus 1 beta to the power of minus 2 gamma to the power of 2. So this n is this one. This n is equal to this time. Therefore 1 calorie is equal to 4.2 alpha to the power of minus 1 beta to the power of minus 2 and gamma square. So this is the conversion between the old unit and this new system, the old system and this new system. ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನಲ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂರನೇ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದನೋ ಅದನ್ನು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿ ನೀವು ಇದನ್ನು ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಡಿಯಾಗಿ ನೀವು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿರಿ ಒಂದು 2 ಟೈಮ್ಸು. ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಈಸಿಲಿ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ರೀಡ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಬುಕ್. ಆ ಬುಕ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಓದ್ರಿ, ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ನ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಈ ರೀತಿ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಟು ಇಟ್. ಇದೇ ರೀತಿ ನೀವು ಉಳಿದಿರೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ನು ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡಿರಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ವಾಟ್ಸಪ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ ಕೆ ಸರ್ ಈ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ಸು ಮತ್ತು ಮೆಜರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಟೈಪು ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕೆಲವು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸು ಅಸೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ನೂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವು ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟರ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿರಿ. ಯಾವುದೇ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಗೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ನನಗೆ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರಿ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ನೀವು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ನಲ್ಲೂ ಹಾಕ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಬೈ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಟು ದಟ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. So like that you work out those problems given in the assignment, because the solving of assignment is very much required from the competitive examination point of view. ನೀವು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ ಬೈ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಬಟ್ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್ಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿರೋ ಶೀಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನಿಮ್ಮಷ್ಟು ನೀವೇ. ನೀವು ಇದನ್ನು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅವು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ನಿಮಗೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು. ಯಾವುದೇ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಕೇಳ್ರಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದರೆ RK ಸರ್ನ ಕೇಳ್ರಿ, ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಟು ದಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದು ಹಂಗೆ ಬಿಡಬೇಡ್ರಿ. ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬರಲಾರ್ದಂಥ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆನ್ಸರ್ನ ತೊಗೋಬೇಕು ನೀವು. ಸೊ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿರಿ. ಇನ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಫ್ಯೂ ಮೋರ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್.